Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Roger Williams. So, Roger Williams was the founder of Rhode Island, and he did this in 1636. He was born December 21, 1603, and he died March 15, 1683. Roger Williams was a Puritan minister, so he was one of those people who wanted to change the Church of England, or the Anglicans. He was a theologian. He was an author who founded Providence Plantations, and Providence Plantations eventually becomes known as, the colony of Rhode Island. Oh, you know that state we like to make fun of today because it's smaller than Houston? Because, hey, here in Texas, we got cities bigger than your state. I mean, we got parks bigger than your state. You go down there to Big Bend in West Texas, and we got parks bigger than Rhode Island. But he started Rhode Island, so that's pretty cool. He was a staunch, means powerful advocate, friend, for religious freedom. He also was in support of separation of church and state. That's where you have the church, you have the state, the government. And you don't want them to be the same thing. You don't want the church to be in charge. You don't want the church to be the government, because what if it's not your church? And fair dealings with Native Americans. He wanted to treat Native Americans fairly. He wanted to be a good guy. He wanted to be nice. And he was one of the first abolitionists, especially one of the first that actually did something. Remember, abolition is where you want to get rid of something. And if somebody calls you an abolitionist, they are most likely, almost like 99.99999%, especially if they're talking about history, it's 100%. They're talking about getting rid of slavery. Abolition, go away slavery. Abolition, go away slavery. Williams was expelled by the Puritan leaders from the Massachusetts Bay Colony, from Plymouth, the Puritans, the Pilgrims, for spreading new, dangerous ideas. And he established the Providence Plantations, so like a big giant farm, in 1636 as a refuge, as a place to go away, to get to safety, offering what he called liberty of conscience. So the freedom to think and care. In 1638, he founded the First Baptist Church of America, also known as the First Baptist Church of Providence. Providence, Rhode Island, the capital of Rhode Island, today at least. He studied the Native American languages and wrote the first book on the, oh, don't make fun of me for this one, Narragansett? Narragansett. That word, language. And he organized the first attempt to prohibit slavery, to make it illegal in any of the American colonies. Now, sad, it says attempt. If he succeeded, it would say the first colony to outlaw slavery was Rhode Island in 16, whatever year he did that. So he didn't succeed, but he tried. He's the first to really try. It's really important. Now, if you look at this map right here, you'll see, if you're looking up at Rhode Island, that tiny, tiny little dot in the top right, and it's got an R dot, I dot next to it, there's a bunch of little black dots, and those would be, the black squares, those would be Baptist churches. And you can see on this map that most of the Baptist churches were centered around Rhode Island, because Roger Williams, the first guy to start a Baptist church in the United States, he also started Rhode Island. You'll see that congressional is surrounding that now. Congressional is another word for Puritan. So the Puritans, the Pilgrims, congressional, same thing. So they're centered around there. And Anglican, that's the Church of England. That would be the big, most popular church back in England. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, toodles.